All right, I know I've been away from YouTube for a while. Not like it made a big difference, but I've been a little busy, softball and taking my kids fishing. Really haven't had any time to do anything with that. Been building my buddy's LS for the past, I don't know. Let's see. How long have I been building it? For a month? No, longer than that. It's gotta be at least 3 months. But anyways, next week, my baby boy will be here. I'll have some time again. Won't be so stressed out. But for the time being, we are doing something crazy. I had these sniper units. They're both bad. Both of them had module failures. And this is your module. Your map sensor, which blows out if you have issues with too much timing, vacuum advance or whatever. You get a pop through the manifold, it'll blow that out. It'll also burn your intake air temp sensor right there. And this is also right at the front, so it's getting heat all the time. So the sniper ones, those modules fail all the time. This one had an injector stuck open. I believe the driver was at fault, but I gotta get the injectors tested. But basically, sniper one, you got your fuel injectors and your transfer tube. That right there is your regulator. I have both of them off. And then your harness wraps through like that. And so then you'll have your idle air control here, and this will be your O2 sensor. And on this side, you'll have your injectors. You'll have this mess of the input outputs, the actual main harness, temperature sensor, and then throttle position. And it's got one wire tie there. And then you'll have to just work it out of the little routes they have for it. Now, obviously, you don't want to do this if you got warranty, whatever. I don't have a warranty on these. These are sniper ones, 2020. They're old. Revision 1. I don't know what year that is, but same thing with the module. You can see how burnt. I'll get you closer. See how burnt that is. Intake air temp sensors. There's one module. And then this was the other one that's dated October of 20. There's another module. We don't need those where we're going. I'm gonna put the covers back on, but basically, I have my dual plane LS intake. I have 8 injectors. Go in like that. What's interesting is they have ports up top where I bet you if you can machine it, put a second set of injectors up there. But put these back in. All right, so 2 injectors. There's gonna be 8 total. This is gonna be the primary, so it'll have the TPS on there. This will be plugged into the idle air control. We'll be using this one. And then map sensor will come off of one of the vacuum ports, maybe that one, or there's one right there. Actually 3, but that one, there's the 1/4 inch right there, 3/8, and then there's another 1/4 inch. But this will be like the main throttle body. And then this one will be the secondary. And I'll just have this blanked off. I might try and put a plug where the pintle goes and just plug it and pull this off completely. This is where the TPS would be. We'll leave that one on there, put this one back on. But basically they're gonna be tied together, no progressive linkage. And we're gonna put a Gen 3 ECU, which would be a drive-by cable. And that way we have ignition control, we have injector control, and it's gonna be a mechanical throttle body. And we'll just save the terminals on these for the injectors, the TPS and the idle air control. Gut the module out of those, put them back on, and they'll just be blanks basically. I'm gonna leave the finishes mismatched, but this will go back there. But anyways, it'll just be a couple of throttle bodies chilling up there. Because I was gonna go with my dual Hollies, which I may still do, but then I would have to buy the ignition controller, and I was gonna do it with a Gen 3 ECM anyways, and then I thought about it. Why not do the whole shebang? So that's where we're at on that. And that's where I stopped. I had one last pit bolt I had to put in here. Head stud, sorry. I was checking threads, making sure everything's good. I didn't like the way that one felt when I put it in there, so cleaned it out, lubed it up. A little bit of assembly lube. And run it down till it's tight, back it off a little bit. Good to go. Even though these cheap Ling Long ones, with the little anti-bottom out thing, they'll still kick. But anyways, my buddy's intake that's going on the 6-liter, using F-150 5-liter flex fuel injectors because they were free, and I think one's bad. So goes with the theme here. Man, it'd be sweet to put the E30 or the LC9 flex fuel injectors in here, but I doubt they're any better. But anyways, so that's the update on that. Truck's coming along. I've been slowly rebuilding the bed. I gotta stitch weld. There's plug all these little trim holes. I'm not putting the trim back on. Then I gotta weld that up. I'm not gonna worry about the dent in the bed. But my heat exchanger is gonna mount up here. Get around this side. Gonna mount towards the top of the bed rail, bolt holes flush, so I can get access to the cap. And I'm gonna leave the holes in the bed because those for the fill neck for the main tank. And then I got my Bosch pump. It's gonna go underneath it, so it'll have a gravity feed. I already have the tubing, I just need to get more fittings. And then we have the intercooler. So we're making progress slowly, but I just had to take a break for a while. Chose to go fishing more than working on cars, trucks, crazy stuff. So Sniper 1s, they're junk. I hate to say it, but they're junk. And also, dealing with Holly has been a nightmare. I have Sniper 2s with module issues. Sending them data logs, going back and forth, 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 and then they just ghost me. So, Holly's going great. Love it. With Sniper 2 that cuts out at 2800 RPM. Went through their whole diagnostic thing they wanted me to do. I grabbed a separate unit on a different truck that was getting the engine pulled. Same exact Sniper 2. Threw it on that truck with it cutting out. And bam. No longer cuts out. So, still fighting with them on that. Which sucks. Because I love Holley stuff. I really do. But the Snipers have been terrible. And I don't know what it is. Like I got that big dog. This is actually a Dominator before they were Dominators. I'm gonna run this because it's awesome. Terminators, Dominators, all that, they're great. I haven't had any issues with them. But Snipers, forget about it. Not worth your time. I know I'm so pessimistic and down about it, but I've installed so many, been disappointed so many times that it's just not worth it. Not worth it at all. So if you want to know where, real quick before I sign off tonight, if you want to know where the map sensor blows out and why, I'll show you real quick. This is the bottom side. So idle air control, no biggie. That's pretty resilient. But right up here, that little pinhole right there goes right up here. And that's where the map sensor is. And then that's your intake air temp. And it sticks right down. Get some light. Right there. So, when you have a backfire or something pops, it'll come back through this and blow out that sensor. And I've had that happen on this one. And also, I don't have one here, but some of your Chevrolet intakes have a crossover, and the exhaust heats up a base plate on some of the 427s, 396s. So you'll have to actually drill holes. They'll be in this location. You gotta drill holes that way, and tap them, put pipe plugs in them, or else you're immediately gonna just blow out that map sensor. So pay attention to that. You should have good luck, but these things get so frustrating. But anyways, take it easy. I'm gonna go eat some dinner and go chill out. See ya.